What's good, everybody? Welcome to another glorious episode of Two Blue West. I'm your host, Donnie B.GotDaBeats. I'm here with my brother, Nicholas Baker. What's going on with you, Nick?
What's happening, brother? Just another Sunday.
Just another beautiful Sunday, another glorious day under God. Happy Labor Day, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Long weekend. Always
Indeed.
A good thing.
Indeed. So, listen, due to unfortunate circumstances, today's guest cannot join us. And it's unfortunate. We was our guest the best, and we bring it back on immediately as soon as we can. But in typical fashion, we just we couldn't just let it thing slide. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about out here, man. Yes, so, Baker, what you got on? What's on your agenda, man? If you want, I can go ahead and just throw some topics out there, and we can just.
We're in a crazy world, so it's so much to talk about, so many things. But if you got some things boiling, go on and throw them out there. We can get it going.
Nah, I'm just like I said, I'll say the sports go. What I'm saying, for later, because we can talk about that.
I got a sports joint that's not like the typical football or basketball joint.
All right, what you got?
It's typical for us.
All right.
Okay, so Naomi Osaka, right?
Okay.
I saw her in a match recently where she didn't win, but she was frustrated. Threw a racket a couple times, took her time to pull herself together, and the crowd booed her, which was very interesting to me. This level of, I don't know. She's receiving some scrutiny over almost anything she does now, it feels like. Mm-hmm. And that was just interesting to me because we've definitely seen tennis players lose their cool and things like that. You know what I mean? I think John McEnroe, who was famous for cussing out the refs and all that, but kind of just became part of his persona.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wasn't really looked down as. It just was what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's interesting that she can sometimes be looked down upon for expressing emotion.
Well, again, I think it goes back to what we always talk about, right? Where it's people so quick to try to cancel and just be against every daggone thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, why do you ever have to do that? Like, this is, people forget that these are actual human beings. You know what I'm saying? And so, I think Naomi Osaka doesn't owe anybody anything. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't think that what's the young lady, Simone Biles? I don't think she owes anybody anything. I don't think LeBron James owes anybody anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. People go out there and do their thing. That's like if the world was watching you go to work, and the world was judging how you was performing your job functions. Mm-hmm. Would you think it's fair to be scrutinized? Oh, because you didn't eat your lunch correctly. You know what I'm saying, you took that extra 10 minutes for your lunch break. You know what I mean? And I again, we all have different circumstances, and I'm not leaning one way or the other. What's going on, Riz? But I gotta say, with regard to Naomi Osaka and all of the other people, I'm just happy that we have people that look like us.
Yeah.
In these places.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for people You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for that. And I think that it's just unfortunate that people like to sit there and vilify. Like even look like the basketball games and the NBA games. Like people like the little boy was chatting shit at Russell Westbrook like a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the millions of Beckys that feel that they got to stand up. You see the Becky that got her husband head knocked off at the football
Oh,
game.
smooth,
You know what I'm
smooth.
saying? And it's
Hey,
like all because she couldn't shut her mouth. And I don't mean that that's like a woman's place or nothing like that. We're not even at that level. We're not even talking about it. But I'm saying people get it, but beside themselves. I'm paying, so I should be allowed to say what I want. I'm doing, so I should be able to do what I want. And like I said, at the end of the day, that's like, well, I pay my taxes, so I should be able to walk into your house and eat popcorn instead of your sofa with my feet off. You know what I'm saying? My socks off. You know.
nah, I mean, I think definitely in thinking about, like you said, people judging and having an opinion. Some people will say, "Oh, well, they're high level, famous sports athletes, so that comes with the job." And the reality is, I think anybody outside of, and I don't think anybody, it's necessarily fair to judge. None of us are God like that. That's not our space. But
Right.
I do think people who like want to be like actors or even musicians, that space where it's really about people accepting your work,
Right.
as far as like fame goes.
Right.
I think there is, I feel more like there's a level of it that comes with that, because like even with like IG influencers, right? Like there's a level of scrutiny, you could say. Yeah, he might, but that don't mean nothing. Look, we'll get back to that. There's a level of scrutiny that comes with putting yourself in that position, right? But when you think about sports, you're talking about athletes who've grown up and put in all this hard work to play a sport that they love. The fame and the notoriety of it has come along with it, but they didn't necessarily ask for it. You know what I mean? They wanted to get paid for the sport they love. They worked their ass off to get to a place. They didn't necessarily say, "I want a bunch of people to look at me like as a role model or as like the fame part." You know what I'm saying? And I think uh, that joint trash. But hold on, we'll get to that too.
We'll
That
get to
drink,
that too.
we definitely got that question coming. I think it's you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't ask for that. And I think I think Charles Barkley said it a while, like back when he was playing, he was like, "We didn't ask to be role models. Like we got put in this position.
Right.
I just want to play a game I love, right? And I happen to get paid really well for it." And I think this place of saying, "Oh, well, they play, you're in that position, so you have to take it," is crazy.
Of course.
And like watching it even came more true watching that, like you talk about the fan and people in the stands, like watching the Malice in the Palace joint. Like
Oh yeah, that was good.
when they dug back like into what happened, like any grown man on this earth, most likely, who get a beer thrown on them is gonna go retaliate, right? But they were painted as thugs and like unruly, and it's like, nah, man, that's just basic human decency. Like that man ain't no alien, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a human being. Yes, he gets paid a lot of money to play a sport, but you throw a beer on any male, like woman, whatever, human being, you're gonna get a reaction. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like that, that's kind of my thoughts on it. And as far as like I said, Naomi, it was interesting because again, she's just showing emotion. Like she's probably in her own head, pissed at the moves that she's like the shots she's not hitting and this and that. Like,
right.
She mad. Like, let her do her thing. She tried to take time to gain her composure, and people like hurry up. And it's like, you don't know what it takes to do that. Like, relax. Be. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. And I think that's the thing where it gets lost in translation, right? Where it's always an expectation because when you're on a farm, you're supposed to produce widgets. You know what I mean? And these players become these widgets that you got to put out. You know what I mean? And I was watching something. Yes, matter of fact, because I was watching with my girls and the Respect joint, the Aretha Franklin joint, and just seeing that the the execution that she had to execute on every single level. And it was always
Mhm.
she had to put that before life. Put you know what I'm saying? And you know, you think about that in contrast with these basketball players and so forth and so on. It's like, you know, these kids are starting. I got my homie Joey, homie Joseph's son Joey, man. Like he's like, I don't even know how old he is right now. He probably kill me for saying that. I think he's like 9, but this dude was in martial arts, football, basketball, whole nine from like 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like these people started these sports from like a very, very small age, and that's all they, you know what I'm saying? I don't say that's all they know or that's all they do, but you know, they learn to master every level. And then they get to the level to get on the grand stage, and it becomes this thing like they owe the world the opportunity because they got the opportunity because they put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's usually the thing that rubs my rhubarb the wrong way, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like just being in the music industry, it's like, you know, we put in the work. We
Yeah.
were boots on the ground. We did the you know what I'm saying, the guerrilla marketing and hop out the van and put up the flyers and, you know what I'm saying, hit the open mic spots and hit the, you know, holler at the DJ to do the whole nine. And then you got these young kids now that's like, you know, they feel like they owe everything. I just put the record out. Y'all ain't put no work in. You know, but then to hear all of these people talk and chat shit about, you know, the work that people who are actually working are putting in, or you know what I'm saying, are quick to tear them down. Naomi Osaka, I think if she was afforded the same luxuries and space as Tiger Woods has, I don't think people would be chopping at her like that. I absolutely think it's you know, a female thing, and they really because they're doing the same thing with Simone Biles. You know what I mean? So that's, I don't know. I took a long way around to say I think it's a junk of shit. That's what I tell you that much. I simplify it for you.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she said in her last interview after the game, she said, yeah, it's happening. It's a whole lot of hats in there, man. I'm trying to tell you. Not, you know, I mean, I saw her last interview and she basically said like she don't know when she's gonna be back on the court. And I think it's crazy because basically I feel like she's dealing with a decision or this feeling of I have to choose the sport I love and that I work so hard at, and versus the platform and the fame and the stage that it puts me on. Like I think she's truly one of those people who would be okay playing like championship level matches with nobody there. Like I think she'd be totally okay with that. If nobody knew her name, she could play her matches, get her money, and go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, does she use the platform? Sure, but that doesn't mean she loves it. You know what I mean? There's a difference between somebody who will take it and say, you know what, I got some things that I do care about, so I'm gonna talk about those. And people who love it. There's people who love it, who love the platform, who love the, you know, the glitz and the glamour. That is what it is. But everybody doesn't. And I think we should take the time to accept that and be okay with that. You know what I mean? Let's love the people who want to put on a show for you and let the people who don't go home and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Their show is when they get on the court. Let them do that and be okay with that. You know what I mean? People want so much more from people, and it's like lose yourself.
Yeah. And when you're in a court of public opinion, it's hard. I mean, hell, people probably, you know, rate us, you know, on the cash. You know what I mean? It's oh, he shouldn't be drinking, or you know me. Everybody, Donnie always got something to say about everything. You know what I mean? Like again, when you're in a position that where people look up to or look at that see from a different perspective, then you know you're highly scrutinized.
Yep.
Because of the level of celebrity that comes with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's just
But I think there's this part of it that with that, people say you have to accept it. And I think that's what we're seeing now is people saying, no, I don't. Like, I get it. I'm in a spotlight, but that does not mean that you get to treat me like I'm not a human. You feel what I'm saying? I got feelings. I'm a person. I go home. I like reflect on shit. Like, you don't get to treat me like I'm just a robot out here because I'm in a certain position or spotlight or place. You feel what I'm saying? And I
it's
think
it's
that balance is important.
it's funny that you say that too. Kind of crossing the lines into the Me Too realm, but using the same inference. It's like the young lady. I think her name is Melania Vantrub. You know who she is?
Mm-mm.
She's the chick that's Lily on the AT&T commercials, little short joint with with the big eyes.
Yep.
But people was they were body championing her. Just really just going, being real lewd and stuff like that about her body. She was going at people, smack at them like, y'all don't get the right to talk about my body. You know what I mean? Like, and really just, judge me in the whole nine. And like literally, so ever since then, if you really look at the commercials that they've done, like they hide her attributes like behind desks and behind props and so forth and so on. But I was like, good for her. That's what, what I'm saying. And like people like and again, this might not seem like the same thing, but to me it is. So bear with me. That's like Scarlett Johansson, like with the whole Disney thing with the way they did Black Widow. It's like she has a voice. It's like, yo, just because I'm on a stage doesn't mean that you could take advantage of you know take advantage of me. You know what I mean? Like I expect more money. That's not what I was told I was gonna get. Y'all doing your thing negatively. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, it's just I think it's just really unfortunate that people have these opinions that people should just sit down and shut up. And it's just unfortunate.
I mean,
Especially with go ahead.
no, it's funny with the Scarlett Johansson joint because, like, I think it's weird. It's there are so many layers to it. You know what I mean? Because Scarlett, I think, just made a bad business move. To be honest with you, like The Rock did some similar shit, but he locked in a different way with his business because he spoke on it. He was like, "Yeah, I don't have that problem. Like, I'm on the streaming and the motherfucking theater joint." You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she just wasn't in the know, which isn't great that people will take advantage of that. But it was interesting because it was I saw people talk about both sides. Like I saw people being like, "Oh, she got paid 20 million for the movie. I'm not here for your fucking rich people problem shit." Right? Like that's one thing. And I think that it does carry a little bit of that because like I think the Naomi or the Simone and all those situations are talking about like uh mental health things.
Right.
And Scarlett was trying to get that pocketbook right. And I'm not mad at her. Like, you're right. She should have done what she did. She should have spoke up. But she should have also, did some research on that business because that's the game. Like, the game is fucked up when it comes to business. And, like, if you don't know it, people will take advantage of you. And who's at fault if that happens, right? Like, you can go and yell and scream and be like, "Oh, it's fucked up. Y'all did that." But if you ain't know your business thing, you ain't know your business thing, and you just learn from it and move forward. So I think it's not bad that she put it out. I definitely think her sharing her putting her voice out there. I haven't heard much about it since.
Right.
So I don't know if they settled or she just ain't getting that money, and it is what it is. But you know, interesting layers to all of that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think people who go out to be like actors, musicians, I do think there's this level of you are inviting people's criticism to what you do because your level of work is about do people think it's good or not? You know what I mean? Like when you do music, like yes,
Right.
you're doing it for yourself, but when you put it out, you're literally putting it out to see if people like it or not. When you put out a movie or a TV show, you're literally putting it out most times to see if people like it or not. So I think there's more. I think musicians and actors and actresses are all still humans. So there is a level of like you can't just treat them like anything. Quentin was good.
What up, Q?
But I do think like there's this level of you more invited in those realms, the either good or bad, because that's what that realm is about. Sports, I
Right.
don't feel that way because sports has become what it's become, right? Like when people pick up a basketball, I don't think 95% of them are saying like, "Oh, I want to do this because I want to be famous." I think they want to make a certain amount of money. I think they want to be great at the sport, but I don't know if it's for the fame. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
think with music and acting, it's like you need people. I need people to make sure that this is like something. You know what I mean? Like when I mean shit, they had the NBA bubble. They played without a crowd. Like it can happen. You know what I mean? People watching on TV, but at the end of the day, there's a level of needing people. I don't want to make it seem like people are the only way they get the money they get is because of people watching sponsorships. Like yes, there's that level, but
Right.
I'm just saying I don't think that when they sign up, they're trying to say I want to be a famous person per se. You know what I mean? And right now it's getting to be younger and younger. Shit, they looking at players that are like fucking sophomores in high school, like they're gonna be the next thing, and they're putting the spotlight on them now,
Right.
which is fucking crazy. Like you putting the spotlight on 15, 16-year-old kids, and now they gotta act a certain way. Like if they do some dumb shit and they're like a top recruit, they're like they get scrutinized.
It
And they
gets serious.
15,
Yeah.
16 years old. I would have hated to have a spotlight on me at 15 and 16 years old. Like shit. It wouldn't have been good. You hear me? It wouldn't have
But
been good.
well, you
So
know, you already know. That's the champagne problem to me. I deal with it. Just show me the light. You get the good side. You know.
well, look, man. Our homie Reds brought up the Donda versus Certified Lover Boy joint. I mean, I think it's only right that we have a conversation around it. We talked about it a lot last week, just the two artists, but both of their projects have hit the airways now. It's been a lot of talk about it, back and forth, what people think. It's a small ass picture, but whatever. It
There you go.
still works.
There you go.
So
Woo!
got that zoom on you. You hear me? Donda versus CLB, a certified lover boy. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think? Did you get to listen to both?
Yeah, absolutely. I got them both in the phone.
Okay.
I made sure that I gave them both the appropriate time. You
Mm-hmm.
know me, I'm a hard critic.
Mm-hmm.
To me, as I told Monique, I feel that the juxtaposition between they're both good albums.
Mm-hmm.
The classification of them both goes as such. Certified Lover Boy is for people that like to cook their food in the microwave,
Mm.
and Donda is for people that like to cook in the oven.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It really is like Drake did exactly what Drake does, but as Jay-Z said to Just Blaze, it's limited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kanye, that brother was what they said, that nigga spitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like he was the art that he put in there was tangible, albeit long, albeit long. He showed shit, gave you the Isaac Hayes murder mix,
Mm.
you know, but it was all tangible. It was something. He gave you an experience,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Now I do feel that Kanye could do better with his marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that, but that's a different conversation. I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But by way of just album versus album, you just put, you know, unmentionable on the table across from the table from another unmentionable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You put them both on the table, wow, zip, unzip, whoop. Voila, they both were good albums, but I gotta go with Donda because I feel Donda just I'm I certified. I'm
Mm-hmm.
bona fide, as they said in the one movie. I was bona fide. So it spoke more to me in a different realm of art than Certified Lover Boy. And again, I loved it. I thought Certified Lover Boy was good. Like, but it was definitely something that I probably won't listen to it next year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of what Ray said. Like Drake definitely did Drake, and I think Ye did Ye. They both did what they do, right?
Right.
Like you said, I think Certified Lover Boy is a solid joint. Drake can rap, like the dude can rap,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
he put words together well. Like I really liken him to like him and Jadakiss got this flow that's just it feels real seamless when they rap, and it
Right.
just like fuck. the way they put it together. Anybody who's written raps before, if you listen to both of them, it just has this effortlessness.
We're gonna get
With that. Um, that
there.
is just, like it is what it is. Like some people just got that thing. It's their
Right.
voice, their cadence, it just works. And I think that's what he got. The
I'm excited.
new
Nah,
Nas.
that Nas joint though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go there too. I like that. That's a good time. That's a good thought. Um, I think Kanye. Yeah. Exactly. Q. Like Drake is definitely pushing the mainstream shit, right? Like he got this song. It was something like "No New Friends" or "No Friends in the Industry," some shit like
Yeah.
that. And it was like the hook was what it was. I was riding with the wife, and we were riding both like looking like Drake in this picture, listening to his album. She made a great. She said,
I was looking like Kanye.
she said Drake is like rap elevator music, and I was like, that's a
Come
great
through.
point. Like he just has a lane, but he stays right in it. He's not talking about shit. Like the shit he talks about is literally the same thing for every album, right? Like I ain't got no new friends. I'm rich, and somebody broke my heart. I used to want her, and I should have did better by her back then. And if she come back, I'll do better. I'm gonna go to the strip club until then. Like it is what it
With
is.
everybody.
Hey, I don't think there's many artists who can make as many songs about the shit that he's made about, like that, those topics, and make the money he's made and sell the albums he sold. So I'm not mad at him. He still knows how to write songs, or his team knows how to write songs with him, right? Um, but when I kept listening for like those songs that just be like, fuck, like, damn it, I gotta listen to that one again, right? Like, or changing it. And like another thing is that he released this, he leaked the Andre and Kanye joint. And I'm like, the Andre and Kanye joint that he leaked is better than his whole album. Like, why would you leak that song? Because Kanye dissed him in the song, but I'm like, that song, just for Andre's part, is better than shit. But it's better than every song that, like, I'm telling you, that joint by itself. Right? So that made me think they working together, because I was like, you just don't release no fire like that and be like, oh, look what I did. Like, nah. You know what I mean? But that's a whole other thing. But yeah, man, I just was like, bar wise, like Drake got bars, but it's just monotonous. You know what I'm saying? And I think Kanye definitely had more color, more like, different vibes. Like, and that's the producer in him. He's a producer, so he's a musician, and like he's gonna try different shit and try to be in different lanes and angles. Like that's what producers do. Most
Yep.
producers who also rap, their albums are gonna sound a lot of times different because they're trying to push the envelope with the music. To a Drake is like, I got a formula. I know it works. I know if I put this out, people are gonna buy it. People are gonna listen to it just because. You know what I'm saying? So I think again, I'm with you. I go with Donda too, just because like I can't give an album that sounds like excuse me, an album that sounds like the previous three albums. I can't say that's oh my god album. You know what I mean? I know why people love it. He definitely hit for the ladies. Like I'm not mad at that at all. Like hit for the ladies. Do what you got to do. So all in all, I think they both put out solid work. But I think we said it last week. For real, Kendrick probably gonna come out and kill them both.
I don't know if he's gonna get that.
Hey, Kendrick probably gonna come out and kill them both.
I think if he traveled the normal lanes like everybody else, I would agree with you. I think Kendrick takes entirely too long to put out albums, and that distance in between them is what's really gonna suffocate him. That's just my personal opinion. Because people are like, "Hello, is this thing on?" Like, "Hello, Kendrick, can you please report to the office?" Like, we waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like even J. Cole coming back, and it's like, okay, J. Cole, but it's like, again, he's climbing the mountain, but
I mean, J. Cole puts out records like, I mean, he put out another record. It'd just be like, damn it, Kanye. I mean, not Kanye. Damn it, J. Cole. Like, he almost put out too much for himself. Like, I think about artists like Michael Jackson when he was alive.
right.
What he said. Like, if you think about Michael Jackson, Michael didn't put out albums like back to back to back to back. Michael made you wait. Michael built up hype.
Different
Michael
era,
put
though.
together,
Different era, though.
It is a different era. We are in a microwave era. And that's why I said, like, when you say CLB is for the microwave lovers, like, that's why Drake is winning right now. Because he does that. He cooks up. I told you, I think he has a vault of songs.
Yeah.
He's just like, give me these 15. Okay, cool. Here's an album. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick makes albums. Like, the Damn album was a piece of art that all went together.
I agree.
In fact, he put it on there backwards and then was like, you're actually supposed to play it this way. Like, the level of thought that I think he puts into his albums makes it okay that he takes the time. You know what I'm saying? I hear you, and people are always like, well, where you at? Damn it, come on, Kendrick, we need something. But I think that's that thing that makes, like, okay, when it comes out, people listen for a good amount of time to it. Yeah. Because one, the content, I think two, the complexity of the album. I think three, he can rap his ass off. Like, I think there's things that make you live with a Kendrick album, and you can peruse with a Drake album and be done with it in like 2 weeks. I feel like I've heard everything. I know what it is. It's not that you won't love certain songs. Drake has club hits. He got singles. He got all that. You definitely going to pump the song here and there, but you're not going to be pumping that album back to back to back. Like, it ain't going to happen.
Agreed. I just feel it's just a matter of the best way I can put it is that he lives on the outlier of relevance, right? And it's almost to a point where it's dangerous because it's just like, again, I agree with you. Like, Kendrick is Kendrick, like, period. Like, you cannot question the art that and his potential for art. But it's just like, you always wait for him. That's like let me think of a good comparison in the NBA. That's like if you waiting for this person with all this potential, Andrew Wiggins. It's like Andrew Wiggins. We waiting for Andrew Wiggins to deliver. Give us the damn game, bro. And then you know what I'm saying? Like, every now and again.
Because Kendrick had a couple Michael Jordan games. So I think Andrew Wiggins has never reached it. I think Kendrick has reached it a couple times, and that's why you want to see him do more. It's almost like Michael went to play baseball.
Check this.
Like, why the fuck are you playing baseball right now?
Then check this then. Michael Redd then.
Who the fuck is Michael Redd?
That's what I'm saying. Michael Redd. You don't remember Michael Redd, Milwaukee Bucks? Back in the day, he used to get you like 40 or 50.
Vaguely, but okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying from a perspective of, again, not saying he don't deliver. He'll bust you 40 or 50, period.
Yeah.
But it's like he's a name that you, after a while, he just might just kind of fade off in the obscurity. Like, that's just, and again, I could be loud and wrong. I hope I am. But it's just, we want to see more. Like, it just, give us 2 years at least. The last time we see Kendrick, like last time I literally seen Kendrick, Kendrick was sitting in the palm tree.
Kendrick just dropped the verse on the song. He just dropped the verse on the song that told everybody he was coming back. So,
like 4 years later, that's great.
No, you're right. I'm not like, I think he does take hella hiatuses, right? And that's why I more compare it to these comparisons are on point though. I feel like that's why I feel like I put the Michael Jordan comparison. Like, Jordan won 3 championships and then went and played baseball. Wow. It's like, what the fuck are you doing playing baseball for like a year and a half, 2 years? Like, what are you doing? Like,
that's Jay-Z though.
But Jay-Z ran summers. He did his thing. Like, he ran summers for a while, and like Jay-Z is more like, I mean, Jordan with I won't say Jordan with the Wizards because he still dominates when he comes out, but it's like Jordan with the Wizards when he had that one game where he hit like 40 or 50, right? Jordan definitely wasn't Jordan, but
Yeah,
he
everybody knows that
showed
though.
he came back and was like, I still can do it. I think Jay-Z is that because Jay-Z in his prime was putting out shit summer after summer after summer.
But that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
I mean, he made a song that was like, "Dear Summer, look, I ruled you for years. I'm gonna do the winter now." Like he did that, and now he's in a place where he can, you know, put out music when he fucking wants to. I feel
Yeah,
you, and that's why I'm going with you with the Kendrick thing. Like I feel you. I think Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick probably like is more like Nas, but not Nas lately. Lately, Nas been putting out some work back to back. But
he
in
been
the
working.
beginning, Nas put out Illmatic. Then he put out like Stillmatic. Then he put out some garbage. Then he put out another garbage, and then it was like, it was like, come on, Nas, get it
Well,
together.
Stillmatic was like 4 or 5 albums later.
Okay, you're right. No, so he put out no, it was I Am. That's what
I
it's called.
am. Good.
So that joint was I like it had the Lauryn Hill joint and like a
Good.
couple. It wasn't Illmatic, but Nas wasn't ruling the summers, and then he fucking
No,
disappeared. He
agreed.
disappeared for a good minute, and I think he was trying to figure it out. I don't think Kendrick is trying to figure it out. I think Kendrick just takes his time with albums, which I have a certain like appreciation for because when it comes out, it's like this shit sound like he took his time with it, and it's
I
like
just,
it works, and he can
I
put
just,
the whole album out.
and bear with me because everybody that knows me, especially a fair amount of people. I'm a nerd, man. Like, and my thing is, I don't need him to come back like Gandalf. You know what I mean? Like he was killing them, and then he gets ghosts, and then comes back at the turn of the tard, and he's like Kendrick the White. You know what I mean? Like it's entirely too long in between. And again, I know that's not for me to say because that's that brother and that's his art.
Yeah,
But it's just to me, it's like I don't. When we start talking about, I'll be talking about so many other people. Hell, Eminem is more consistent than
yeah,
Kendrick is to me.
but it ain't working
Yeah, but he's still considered one of the greatest lyricists of all time.
because of
Period.
his old shit. Like you get what I'm saying? Like to come out, and that was the shit I was talking about with Kanye last week. Like to come out and still actually be relevant and still have everyone like copping, like going for your album is a thing. Like Eminem, when you like search the new music on Apple Music,
Yeah.
his album ain't even on the first page no more. That should be like on the fourth page. And Eminem dropped a new jump, right? And think
Okay.
about Eminem's status at one point. So
Yeah.
the fact that yes, he's still going to be considered one of the greatest lyricists of all time. I still think he'll bust ass if it came down to it. But
But
the
he was just
most
on Nas
relevant,
level.
the most relevant thing he did lately was being a fucking battle with Nick Cannon. Like,
And he was on Nas's album.
right, he was.
And the verse was like
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but think about it. He did a killer verse, but nobody gave a shit. It wasn't like I just told you. Jay Z was on Drake and Kanye album, right?
Uh-huh.
People was like, "Oh shit, Jay Z is on both albums. I need to hear that shit." Like people wait for Jay Z verses like they albums now.
Exactly.
When it comes to Eminem, people don't.
I agree. I
It just
cannot
be
argue.
like, "Oh, Eminem is on Nas album. Great." Oh,
I
okay.
wish people. I wish people had to keep that same energy with Kendrick. That's all I'm saying. We go back to that point.
I feel you, but if you can do it, if it works, if it's working for you, I think you do it till you can't do it no more. And I think right now, him taking hiatuses and then saying, "Hey, I'm about to come fuck everybody up."
Woo! Well,
And
now last week, Q.
woo, let's see what he said. He's just been around.
Q, Q. You just go ahead and just go ahead and sit down. Just just go ahead. You can just
I
go ahead and
don't
sit in
know
the corner,
how.
bro.
I
It's
don't
okay.
know like how people say Jay is overrated. I don't know. The dude is 50.
Hey, and thank you. You
Dude,
know,
yeah,
all
he
jokes
did.
aside, thank you for chiming in, Q. Like I ain't being disrespectful, bro.
Jay,
But
no, Q. That's a great point. Like, because you're not the only one who says that. Like,
exactly,
there's other people who say Jay is overrated, and the thing for me is that damn, M was on EPMD album. Look,
yep.
see, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, I think Jay better than Biggie too. People don't want to give him that because Biggie dead, but that's that. Look, I don't
Hey,
know if Biggie would have ever hit as many lanes
sample
as
size,
Jay
bro.
did. Huh?
Sample size.
Right. We don't know. That's
Because
hard to say.
big
It's hard to say, but I think even when Jay first came out, I was more of a fan of Jay, and you can attest to this. Like Jay coming to Hampton and like, being there, and I'm like, oh nah, it's Jay-Z. Like Biggie was dope, right? But
yeah,
I thought Jay was better. Just lyrically,
right.
I liked
Me
it.
too.
I appealed to his style better.
Yeah,
But I think with Jay, to be able to stay true to hip hop like he does, like he speaks to his environment.
yeah.
And that's what hip hop is about, speaking to what you see. And the fact that he speaks to what he sees and keeps that vibe real, like he don't talk about necessarily being a hustler out there in the streets, right? Like Pusha T still pushing keys right now. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, Pusha T,
Leave my guy alone, man.
it's like Pusha, you still pushing keys? Like, god damn, man. Like, you know what I mean? But he can rap his ass off. But it's like, damn, Pusha, you still pushing keys at
Push your
this
rap.
point? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the thing that Jay is mastered. Jay knows how to talk about different shit from generational wealth to his kids to Black Lives Matter to some systematic racism and like all like he will go from that to talking about the streets to talking about money to talking about partying to talking about ownership. Like he's grown within his lyrics as he's grown as a man. And I think a lot of people don't do that. I think Kanye attempted to do it on Donda to reflect on some of the shit he's been through. It's where I think Drake will grow as an artist if he can ever do it. If Drake ever takes the time to take an album and say like, I'm gonna actually reflect on some shit that I've been through, I think he'll go to another level. Right now he's doing the formula. I'm not mad at him. Make the money. Do what you do. Jay-Z did it for a while too. He had a formula. He just did that. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I definitely think he's not overrated. I think it's hard to say someone's overrated when they've been in the game for almost 30 years,
Yeah.
25 years.
I
Like
mean,
that's not easy.
yeah, and Q asks about it as far as how do you judge it. I mean, I think the difference, Q, is that we talk about Will Smith. Yeah, Will Smith is one of the greatest of all time. He is by way of sales, but I think realistically, as far as just being up to date, you know what I mean, consistency over a number of years. I mean, he for every 8 movies he'll drop you a single. Whereas Jay-Z at least gives you albums that you can look forward to, singles every summer. Like, leave the game for a year, take a year off, and then go back.
And he built it off of music. Like, nah, like you got to go back to the albums. Go back to the first album. Listen to Regrets. Like he got joints on the first album through every album. What he did to me on 444 was say, I'm gonna be the rapper I've always wanted to be. He had that line when he was like, I would rap like Common Sense, but that don't make sense right now, right? Like it's like for him at one point, it was like, I need to make the money. But even on those albums, he always sprinkled in a song, 2 or 3, where he was talking about some real shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was his way to maneuver through. But it was always built off of the music. You know what I'm saying? Well, Will Smith, I take nothing away from Will. Well, shit, Will will drop a song every once in a while and he got some bars in there. You be like, damn.
And
Will
Jaden
Smith,
too, by the way, because Icon's still dope.
yeah, but the reality is Will hopped into the acting thing pretty early. Like he had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that shit was going hand in hand with his music career. So it wasn't just the music that was making him Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like he hopped into Independence Day. and then did Men in Black, and like he started doing the soundtracks of his movies. So it was like he was working hand in hand. Jay has become a smart, like he's become a businessman and jumped into other lanes as far as building his fortune. But the reality is, when it comes to talent and what he does, it's been music. Like he's not an actor. He doesn't like, he doesn't model or no shit like that. Like he's a musician. And that's always been his, this is what I do. And I think that is another piece of why, you know, I mean, can't say it's underrated. Shit, Drake does the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like Drake hasn't jumped into other lanes as far as like, I mean, he did acting. He did acting in the very beginning, but people, if anything, joked him about being in that show.
Yeah, I was never a Degrassi fan, so.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like that gave him a boost in his music career. It definitely didn't.
Yeah, not
like
at
you
all.
may have known, oh, that's the dude with the wheelchair, whatever. But it wasn't like, oh, this goes hand in hand. And Kanye, same thing. I mean, honestly, Kanye has just lived off his art and his creativity. Like his shoes, his clothing line that don't do much, but it is what it is. Like it's all off of his mind, his creativity. That's what I think the difference is when it comes to Will. Will became a superstar when it came to being on the screen.
Right.
And that allowed him the chance to keep making music as well. And I think that's why when it comes to music, I don't put him there. Like, I don't rank him in that because I think he worked his talent in a different way. But yeah.
Hey, listen, switching gears because I think we just said all we need to say about the Don. Not to cut you off and be disrespectful about it, but I really think we should move on to this nonsense now. We're gonna get slammed. I'm gonna get slammed for this one because you know me. I got to say what I got to say about this, and I just don't get it.
Come on with it.
I don't even understand.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I can't even say I respect what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. You don't have to like me. You don't have to respect me. I don't have to like him or respect him either. Mm-hmm. I do understand and respect that he's a person and he has his perception of art. That's what you want to do. He can do it that way. Mm-hmm. But my thing is this: the thing I have to take issue because like I said, up until this point, I don't care about whatever. That's cool. That's expression, right? Mm-hmm. I got a whole son, 6 years old, about to be 7 years old. I don't need him questioning me about Dad, what's this? Mm-hmm. I got so many things to worry about in the world. Now I got to worry about that. Mm-hmm. Again, I agree, Q. It's an agenda push. I believe it's an attention grab. I think it's that 50 Cent, puffy cones, no negative publicity is publicity nonetheless type of vibes. I want to do everything I can to just get your attention.
Yeah.
Being a world eater like that to me, it's cool. There's no problem with it. But when you start doing stuff like this, it's like now it's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I'm taking pictures like this. It's like, come on, and of course, I know people who what I'm saying are in the community and everything like that, and they are nowhere near as flamboyant as that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that there's a problem being flamboyant. Be you, and if that's him, that's great. But I just feel that my problem with it, I think, is that the agenda is I feel everywhere you turn, no matter you turn on the damn TV, if it's in a commercial now, if it's in a show now, it's everywhere now, it's this because it's got to be represented. It's got to be a representation. And again, relationships is one thing. Cool. I'm not saying you can't have a relationship with somebody of another sex or another, gender, or people change and you have the right. So everybody, we all humans. If that's what you want to do, fantastic. Mm-hmm. But now we got this. And it's like, that's like, if I decide, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put on whiteface. because that's what I identify as.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, I would be eviscerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I would literally be eviscerated because it's like, I mean, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like with everybody in the culture, and it's like, but you can't say nothing because he's coming out. He's out now. Well, not coming out. He's already here. You know what I mean? He arrived or whatever. Yeah, I don't even know how you say it. But it's just, come on now, man. Come on. Like,
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
No, I agree. I think there's a couple of points on this for me. Like one, I'm not a huge fan of the over the top attention grab. Like, and that's not just about him. Like when Lady Gaga used to do it,
Yeah, I hated that too.
like because Lady Gaga is actually super talented, and I was like, people more focus on the way she arrived to a show or what she's wearing or what crazy costume she got on than her music. And I'm glad she stopped it now, for the most part. Like, and does more of the music piece of it, because I think she's talented. I think with him, it's like he came out and it was like, okay, fine, whatever, like do your thing. Um, but I don't know what this pushes. I don't know if this to me doesn't push that. Yeah, right, exactly. Brat was one of my favorite people out. Like,
Yeah.
like
He
that. I was a
was
fan.
terrible about it in high
I
school.
was a fan about the Brat. You know what I mean? And like, absolutely, everybody knew. Everybody knew she knew, but like that wasn't what people put out there. Like it just was. Her bars were dope, right? With him, I'm just like, this doesn't push that message to me, right? This is something totally like in another place that I just don't understand. What was the point? Like what was the point of this one, right? Like I think about, there's a whole community of like women who have a really hard time with getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think about, when you do this, it's almost to me like,
A slap in the face.
were you thinking about that community when you did this? Right? Like forget the pushing being like homosexual. Like that is what it is. Like we've known that for years now, I think. You know what I mean, with him. Or at least a year and a half, months, whatever. That is what it is. Like I didn't love the imagery with the devil and all that, but again, like that's your soul and you deal with that. But I think with this one, I think there are communities that he didn't think about when he did this, and I think there's a certain level of in like sensitivity that he didn't carry with doing that. That was just like, in trying to. I don't know what the message was. Like I don't get it. Like I don't get what that. Like that has nothing to do with him being like gay. Like this doesn't say to me, "Oh, you're gay," right? Like that doesn't
Agreed.
say that to me, right? Like that nothing. I don't get that from this. Like, and maybe I'm missing something, and definitely willing to be educated on it, but I don't know how this says that, right? So then I think it's not that. It's like, what else will you? If it's just shock value.
It's shocking.
You're trying to make shock value, and I think in some ways it could have been it's sensitive to certain communities and situations. And if your whole thing is to not be that way and to like be more of a everybody inclusive, pushing pushing people for being inclusive, then I don't know if you were thinking about what you were doing in that with that imagery, and who you were excluding with that imagery, or like who you were offending with that imagery. So,
I'm gonna take a long way to go a short distance, and I'll try to keep that long way as short as possible. I look at it from this perspective. First of all, like I said, I definitely think it's you had Old Town Road is probably one of the greatest singles of all time by way of sales. People would kill to get to that benchmark. You didn't need to do none of this stuff. Like you didn't need to say I'm gay to get that. You didn't need to talk about the devil and how we are pals and chums or whatever to get that. You did definitely damn sure didn't need to take this picture to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, again, the agenda is clearly shock value, attention grab. Now,
Mm-hmm.
my thing is this: where are you going? Like you said, where are you going with this? And my thing is this: if I want to get the attention of the United Nations,
Mm-hmm.
shock value is not the best way for me to do that. I'm not about to go blow up the Pentagon
Right.
to be like shock value. Hey, shock value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to unite nations,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that's an outlandish example, right? But I'm saying all that to say is like if your agenda is to unite, shock value may or may not be the way to go. I would lean toward it's not the way to go. There's other ways to do that. Be so like lead into a situation. Again, you had one of the highest grossing singles of all time. Then let all these other people that are what you are aspire. Like exactly. Sam Smith. Good job, kid. He leads by example, not by shock value. And again, I know there's people who do and people who don't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
just I think you just gotta be aware of all communities. Like there was like a piece of a video he put out where he had imagery of like dudes in jail, but had them like all in pink like outfits, and we're saying they were all gay in jail, right? And like there's already this like I guess stereotype of men being in jail after a certain amount of time, and they were all black men, and like that's a community that you're making a visual about
yeah,
that you're not thinking about in that moment, right? Like you're thinking about it in a way that I'm gonna push my what I want to push, you know what I mean, and push my agenda in this moment, and not think about that it does bring in another community. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where it just gets tricky. It's like, the one thing I say about Lady Gaga is most of the time when she did shock value things, it was just her. Like she did
right,
her, and that was that, right? Even
right,
in his first video, it was like, okay, you giving the lap dance to the devil. Like, I'm not rocking with you on that. Like, I don't think it's what you should do imagery wise. But if you creatively thought that's what you wanted to do, so be it.
right,
It is what it is. You didn't bring in another community when you did that, right? But these last couple joints, I think he's touching on some things that hit on other communities that are out there, and that's like literally what you're saying you don't want people to do,
right,
right? So I think it becomes like you're pushing for a shock value piece that is actually pulling you into a place that you're saying you're fighting for. Like you're fighting that people don't do a certain thing, but you're actually starting to do it.
right.
And I think that's where the line can get blurry. And that's kind of my biggest issue with it. So
Well, hey, listen, let's let us turn the tide because we didn't talk about some stuff. I would throw something else out right here really quick that you know about, and then jump into some real quick sports blurbs because we talked at great length today. But we can't dance around this one because this one is like, bro, WTF? This little damn thing here. Now I know we had this for a segment. We'll
yep.
we'll we'll, we'll unleash the segment. When we actually have a guest on. We're just going with it. This is the Two Flu as WTF. This damn thing. You want to share some light on this damn thing because this is a real thing, by the way,
I
people.
mean, it's a real thing. It's a shoebill stork. Um, it's a real animal. I ran across this just scrolling on the internet. It looks fake as hell. It looks like somebody standing in a costume, but this is a real animal. They stand about like a little. They can get as tall as 5 feet.
Like,
Uh, and if I saw it, I'm running. Like that's it. Like I can't do that. I can't do things like this. Like I can't do an animal that looks like this in 2021. Not with COVID. He looked like he has COVID. Absolutely.
Like his knees got COVID.
I can't, like, I cannot, I don't even know where they live, where they from, but if I came in contact with one, it's not going to be a good thing. He looked like he can square up with you.
These is, from what I understand, these are indigenous to Australia.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows me, that was always my thing. I was like, if anything happened in the United States, I'm going, the first place I'm going is Australia. This makes me rethink my thought process, because especially when you say this thing grows upwards of 5 feet. Now, 5 feet is pretty damn tall. My son is not 5 feet yet.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I don't get it. Why would, like, my God is a funny God, because he creates things like that. I have no idea why. What does it help? What part of the ecosystem does it help to keep down? Does it eat spiders or something? There's certain things that's out there. It's created just so it can keep this at bay.
Yeah.
So does it eat like frogs or something? Because then it'd be like a frog pandemic. I don't know, but either or, there ain't nothing supposed to be 5 freaking feet that look like this thing here.
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Australia got two. I can't do it. Australia got too many animals that stand up like this and like can whoop your ass. I'm not doing it. Nope. Nope. I don't even know if these things can fight at all. But he looked like he can do some work. Like he's standing there like, what's good? You know what I mean? And they got kangaroos. And it's just too much going on down there. That's like, I can't do this. Like here, most of the things that are here, I can either spray something on them and they done, hit them with a shovel or something, and they done. He might take the shovel from me. I'm not doing. He looked like he got a whole first and last name. He got a social security. I'm not fucking with him at all. Like I'm not doing that. And I'm calling him him, and he might not even be a him. I don't know what that is. But listen, I'm not. I can't. Like, nope.
It's something
Absolutely.
that ashy to me is not a good look. I just can't with it. Like in the build, or like you said, the shoe build, it with the. He just and standing up, he's staring at me like he got a problem, bro. Like his eyes almost about to look how my eyes look. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. That's kind of looking like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. It's
It's
unnerving.
the way I feel like, yeah, they probably do. That's what I'm saying. There's too much going on in Australia, man. Like I can't do that, man. They got all kinds of animals breeding down there. They just putting together. It's something in the water or something. Like I cannot. Like
It was definitely something
too
in the water.
much.
Let me tell you, if I go, I'm gonna stay in one spot. I ain't gonna be like, what is this, Coconut Creek or whatever, the Queensland, to walk around with marsupials. No, Aborigines. No, like it's cool. I can be friends with everybody, but no, it's certain things I just can't. I'm too Americanized, institutionalized with the state of the United States of America. I can't with the snakes, with the frogs, because they got poisonous frogs too. They got sharks out there, got hammerheads with the stripes with the tigers on the back. It's like the sharks and the tigers have babies. It's a tiger shark with whole lot like craziness. They got the storks over there that's ashy, that's 5 feet. I can't with it, bro. Like
I can't do it. He probably do some other shit too, like spit or like do some shit that'll fuck you up if you get close to him. Like I can't look. Yes, they
chicken.
will chicken or beef, right? They probably do cook the whole thing and roast them up and rotisserie, but it just ain't normal to me. It's like, why that bird that big? He looked like a toddler, not a toddler. He looked like a whole teenager. Like, nope, nope, nope. They probably make noise. Like, what kind of noise do something like this make when when you come up and walk this?
Huh?
Right.
Huh?
He looked like he can wear pants and jeans and like a whole sweatshirt.
I
You
was
could
about to
put a
say,
whole hoodie on him.
look at it. He got the Jordan leg bands, like the Anton Jameson used to wear, the knee wraps.
He got a fucking Fitbit on. Like you can't have a Fitbit on as a bird, man. Like you cannot have a Fitbit on as a bird and me be okay with it. Like nah, they counting his steps and everything. Like nah, I can't do that. That's it. I'm over that. Nope.
It's this part. It's just this part. It's just he's just you judging me with your judgy eyes. Goddamn, like what I mean. I can't with that. I can't.
Hey,
You
listen,
know,
man, that's the two flu history lesson.
it's definitely a Jim Henson character, like the from the
Yes,
Dark Crystal or something. For
yes,
sure.
exactly, exactly.
So switching gears, finalize, and do the rundown real quick. It is NFL week, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had a bell. I don't have a bell or something like a ring, but I'm happy because that's my favorite sport in the world, and it's got to be NFL too. I don't do the college crap because I swear I yank my TV off the screen. I mean off the wall because they did just be like, bro, like, yep, he ran for 400 yards. That's because nobody's tackling. Okay, hello, nobody's where they're supposed to be at. NFL, that's my shit though. So I know you got a squad.
Yeah.
What's your prognostication for your squad, brother?
Well, like I said, the Raiders. I think we got a decent team this year. I don't think we made any moves that will make us exponentially better. But I do think I do think we will go to the playoffs this year. Um, lose in the first or second round
Another,
probably, but you know,
another. Where do we get these guys from?
I definitely think the Raiders have made some moves. I do like the KJ Wright signing. I think he can put
Oh
some
yeah, absolutely.
ability there and like teach some people some things. I definitely like that. I think we made solid moves on defense. Like it's
He
one of those
Mike.
things, huh?
He running Mike. I'm saying.
I don't know. All I saw is that they brought him in. Like, you know what I mean? Like they literally signed him a few days ago. So I
Yeah,
don't know what they're gonna have him do, but I know he's played for Gus Bradley before.
yeah.
I think it's one of those things where maybe we, have brought together like the Detroit Pistons and they all will fill each other's gaps. No homo, no, I'm sorry. Um, they all will fill the gaps in the defense that
Right,
makes sense and it could gel and be an amazing like unit. Um, but we'll see. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, they
So,
did. Who the Niners did? No,
yeah.
that's the Niners. They ain't even in the Bay. They play in Santa Clara. They like, look, they they down the
Wait,
road, across the street.
you and Reds must have grew up in the same, like y'all came out the same hospital or something. Like I don't even understand it. Like it just, yeah. Hey, but it's easy. But no, I agree. But remember the last time we talked about the Raiders, I think that KJ Wright fills that void because, like I said, to me that
Mhm,
was always easy
mhm.
that to run on
Yep,
the Raiders. And
yep.
with them, somebody like KJ Wright to be able to stuff the running lanes, that was an immaculate pickup for y'all. I really, really do. Along with the other dude, Solomon, what is it, Solomon Page or what is Solomon
Yeah, from the old 49er dude,
from the
solid.
from the Niners, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on? The future looks very bright for how the future look very bright for a while. I
I mean,
hate I with you.
The Niners look dangerous. I won't like hate. They look dangerous. I think Shanahan is going to put together a nice plan for them. But what I think will happen is that by week 9, it'll start to be like, okay, we know what they do now. Like I think it's going to hit people for surprise in the beginning, just like the Saints did with Taysom Hill, and it
That's
was like a
literally a
surprise. And then after a while, people started to be able to prepare for it, and it was like, okay, you ain't got much. You still can win with it, but it ain't gonna be as big of a surprise. So I think if the Niners can stay healthy, they definitely are contenders. I think they're in a division that it ain't but so much. Who's in the division? The Saints. The Oh no,
I
the
don't know.
Bucks in their
I
division.
never remember that.
Is it the Bucks? Is the Bucks in there? I think the Bucks in their division.
I
Maybe not.
don't never know that.
I don't know who in their division either,
That's
man.
what
But
I'm saying. I just know who's in the NFC East, man. That's
I
really it.
know it's the Saints. Yeah, but I think they have a decent year. Like I don't want to like act like I don't see the moves they've made, because I think they've definitely made some strong moves over the years to get to where they are now. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Like it can all change pretty quickly. Last year changed for them pretty quickly when everything went down and everybody got hurt. So who
Right.
knows?
Well, let me run down this list real quick, brother. I would talk about the football team, but I ain't gonna waste everybody's time because y'all ain't listening anyway. We just gotta show y'all. But the injuries killed y'all last year. Yeah, all right. And can prepare, but but you can't stop it. I think that's what you meant to say. And yeah, we'll see. And so let's go down to prognostication, ladies and gentlemen. Cards are
Okay.
Seahawks, cards and Rams. Oh, okay.
The Seahawks.
I love that. I never heard that one before. That's awesome.
Okay.
So we're gonna run down this list. Need your hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get this shared into the doodad here so we can run down that list. There we go. So this list right here. Who you got for the boys versus the Bucks?
Bucks.
Bucks winning that. Okay.
Yep.
And how about the Texans versus Jags?
Texans.
Okay, so let's go back. I got the Bucks on that one. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Jags versus Texans. I got the Texans one. I mean, the Jags winning that one.
Okay.
All right. Chargers versus the football team.
I got the football team winning.
I got the football team winning that too. But it's gonna be close, damn close. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers pull it out. No shade on my team, but they got some boys, man. And return to Derwin James, problematic. But again, got to ride with the squad on that one. Colts versus Seahawks.
Seahawks will pull that out. I think the Colts
yeah.
They brought in what? Carson Wentz is their quarterback? No, who's their quarterback? Carson, but he got hurt.
Nah, he's playing week 1.
I thought he got hurt.
He did, but they said he's still on pace to come back week 1.
I still got the Seahawks. They got to figure it out in the Colts, like chemistry and all that shit.
When in doubt, what would Russell do? So yeah. I got to ride with that Seahawks on that one. Jets versus Panthers.
This is an interesting one. Who's the Panthers quarterback now?
Sam Darnold.
This is probably the hardest one. This is a tight one for me to pick. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Interesting.
I think Donald's, solid. I think they got the white boy running back who do his thing.
McCaffrey.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give them the edge on this one.
I got the Jets.
Okay.
I think single-handedly, if there's nothing else that the 49ers is good for, Saleh. Robert Saleh is I think he is the guy. He's the coach. He's bringing a damn good attitude there. Got stud wide receivers. The only thing I worry about there is running game. But I think that attitude is going to translate onto the field. That defense is going to be powered, high octane, ready to go. I'm going to go with the Jets on that one. Panthers ain't got a chance. Vikes versus the Bengals.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Joe Burrow. I go with Joe Burrow back too. I will go. Yeah. And Joe Mixon, don't count him out. Don't count him out at all.
I go with that.
Cards, Titans.
I think Tennessee gonna win that.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Titans winning that. I'm still not sold on Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he's okay. He reminds me of what's the old boy name?
Tua?
No, he used to be the short
Flutie.
Quarterback, Flutie. He reminded me of Flutie. Like Flutie had moments and definitely was a escape artist quarterback and could do some magic, but never could tie it all together.
Right. Agreed. They got the wide receivers though. They got, and it's just that running back position. It's just like,
and they learned that we took Drake from them. So I think
they got what you call it? Old boy came over from Pittsburgh, Connor. And it's just like, I'm gonna go with Titans on that one because watch what old boy from the Falcons do. The wide receiver, Julio Jones.
Yep.
Problematic. Yep. So yeah, studs.
Yeah, DeAndre. No, he's with the Titans, right? Yeah. Titans all day. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Niners, Lions.
Niners.
Yeah, I'm going the Niners on that. Lions is cool, but I don't believe in the coach or their team yet. So sorry, Lions fans. Steelers, Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Go with the Bills too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bills too. But Steelers though. But I'm gonna go with the
They're
Bills.
always tough. They always gonna be a strong team. Like they got the same pieces there. They got a strong receiving core. They got Ben. Like the defense is decent, not great, but I do think that the Bills gonna win that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna still go with the Bills, but yeah, them Steelers though, and I hate to say it because of course, Q, we know you with the 49ers. Get out of here. Get out of here. Eagles, Falcons.
Um, I don't know much about either one of these teams, to be honest with you right now. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with the Falcons just by way of coaching. So the Eagles got a new coach. That's the assistant ain't never been a head coach before. We don't know what we getting out of them. Falcons, okay. At least they've been in the system for a second. Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. That's just that. And then they got this guy, once in a generational talent, tight end Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley. Falcons is I think Falcons are gonna put it together on that ass. So right. I'm gonna go with the Falcons on that. I don't even think this should be a talking point, but Chiefs versus Browns.
I mean, I hear you, but I think the Browns will upset them.
That sounds great. I'd say maybe the second time they play, but not the first time. The Chiefs.
That's why I think the first time, because they're not going to be ready for it, and it's going to be the defense is going to show up in a way, and I think the Browns are going to win it. Okay. It's going to be close, but I think they're going to win it.
Okay. I can't argue too much because ain't nothing been put on tape yet, so I'm with you. I got Packers versus Saints. Who you feel with that?
Packers.
I'm gonna go with the Saints on this one. I think the Saints gonna surprise that ass. Jameis, man.
Hey, Michael, Thomas. What's his name? Thomas.
Who?
What's the receiver? And he's still hurt.
Who? Oh, Michael Thomas. Yeah, but they got this dude, the second year wide receiver. He was showing out in preseason. I'm telling you, I think they gonna put something together. They're gonna put something together. That's my upset. That one right there is my upset.
Okay.
For sure. Broncos versus Giants. Who you
got? Giants.
That's great. I'm gonna go with the Bees. Teddy Bridgewater's, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NFL, and he's gonna show y'all why y'all been sleeping on him for sure. Okay. So that's me. Melvin Gordon, Teddy Bridgewater, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. Problem.
I think Saquon gonna have a big game.
I would hope so.
In the comeback.
Hopefully he don't get out there and tear another butt. Dolphins versus Patriots.
I think that the Patriots gonna pull it out. They got they got their signature quarterback in there now, so I think they're gonna get back to being the Patriots again.
Mac attack, man. That's what I'm gonna say to you, Mac attack, and the tight ends that they picked up. Jonnu Smith, was it Hunter Helmsley, whatever his name is, Hunter Hurst, what?
Triple H.
Yeah, whatever the name is, the Hunter or something. But yeah, they back. They're back.
Yep.
Rams versus Bears.
That's another tough one for me. I think Fields gonna be dope. That's the quarterback they got, right? Fields.
Yeah, but he's not. He's only playing the first quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They consistent with saying that their starter is Andy Dalton. But they're saying that Fields is going to start the first quarter and then Dalton's going to come in after that. I'm like, that's stupid. I don't even understand why you even
in a regular season game.
In a regular season game, but they said that was mad. But he probably was just throwing off. He's probably just throwing off.
With the Rams.
But yeah, Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams on that one because Matt Stafford. Welcome to LA.
Yep.
And then Raiders versus the Birds.
You already know I'm going with Vegas. Even if I'm thinking, I'm going with Vegas. I think, we opening up our stadium. Like, for real, regular season open up. I think it's going to be one of them things where, again, we just got some pieces that I don't think Baltimore added pieces that are surprises. I think we added a couple pieces that will be like it's just that first game surprise of like I didn't prepare for that, right? So I think that's what's going to catch them off guard, and that's what we'll get the win from.
Okay. I think, oh, he got Dolphins over the Pats. Okay. Hey. All right. Definitely with your Rams. I think I'll go with you on the Raiders. But here's the asterisk. If the Ravens running game come through, it's gonna be a problem for y'all. It's gonna be a huge problem for y'all. All right? And again, I need to see them feel unset all of that stuff that they set up in my mind with y'all. Because I'm thinking, I'm sure if I'm thinking that all I got to do as a coordinator, because I ain't a coach, but if I'm like, all you got to do is run up the middle, and if I can see that, there's people in the league that game plan for that. You know what I mean? So that's my own thing. But I do think, like you said, being at Raiders in Vegas, they're on their turf. And I think that the Raiders going to come and show out. They just going to want to show out. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And this is the first time when it's like open, where everybody's there. And it's just the whole, it's going to be big. That's going to be the joint to watch, actually, I think.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, brother. So,
Cool.
You heard it here first.
There it is.
And then that's it. That's we got to revisit that. We got to play this back and then go for it, for sure. And then we had to pull the score up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Two new picks. We need to make it a thing. It's a whole thing.
That's a whole other thing. We got to add that to the list. We're gonna do that. But for sure, man. So we the game will be based on defense. I guess you're talking about the Ravens versus Raiders. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going. I think Derek Carr going to throw that thing down that field. I think Ruggs is going.
I think it's definitely going to be some scoring going on in that game.
Yeah, Brown and Ruggs. That's going. He gonna get that ball on the field. If he don't, then they need to think about replacing Carr and put Tua Tagovailoa. No, not Tua Tagovailoa. What's the other dude? Mariota.
Put him in there. Let him do what he do. But yeah, no, I definitely think that's one thing that, like I said, the Raiders have been working on offense and trying to be the Chiefs. So I definitely think they'll get the ball down the field and score. That hasn't been our issue.
Right.
Our issue has been defense and stopping other people from scoring. So if anything, I think it's going to be a lot of scoring, and we just got to outscore them. Right. If anything, but we'll see.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in for the latest episode of Two Flew West. I'm Donnie B.GotDaBeats, my brother Nicholas Baker. You got any last words for us, Nick?
No, man. It's always good to chop it up and chat again. Definitely, we will reschedule our guest, Mychole Starr. We're gonna get her back on to make sure we chop it up with her. But it's always good to chop it up with my bro and just talk topics. If there's anything y'all want to see us talk about or make a question, or if you got a segment idea, definitely send it to us so we can make it pop up on the show.
Indeed. Want to throw this out there really quick too. Two things. Definitely want to send out these well wishes to D. Seeing that you got better with COVID. The owner of the Lifers. Glad that you better and everything like that. Good to see you in good spirits. The High family. Sorry, for your loss. Our condolences. About anything we can do to help. We're a family, we're a unit. If we can help, we will definitely do so. Just reach out to us, let us know what you need. And then lastly, the DMV lost somebody that's that really had something in, put the city on his back for years. We've known that brother, Tex Sosa, always put on the DMV first, man. And we lost a great one. So condolences for Texas and his family and those that are affected afterwards. Life is short, man. As we always like to do in Two Flew West, man. We like to give people their flowers while we still got them. So make sure you do that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow and support. Follow, support. Because you never know when that day gonna come. You know what I mean? But one thing we do know is that day will come. So say all that to say. Be sure to like and subscribe to Flew West. I'm Donnie B.GotDaBeats, my brother Nicholas Baker. We about to let the planes fly. See y'all next week. We out.